Searing heat couldn't stop 60,000 people from protesting at a sports stadium in the Okinawan capital of Naha on the 19th of June. They were there for one reason: to demand that the US close its military facilities on the island, which is home to more than half the 47,000 US troops stationed in Japan.
It has already been too long. Okinawa does not need US military bases. They should leave.
The prefecture's governor, Takeshi Onaga, is a prominent figure in the anti-base movement.
The central government has to understand that the inhabitants' anger has reached its limit. We cannot forgive that Okinawa's people shoulder the burden of US bases and make such a huge sacrifice.
The demonstration was called after a former US Marine was arrested in connection with the rape and murder of 20-year-old Arina Shimabukuro.
The young woman who was killed was about my age. It could have been me. It could have been my friend.
Kenneth Franklin Shinzato was charged with Shimabukuro's rape and murder in late June. The 32-year-old, a civilian employee at the Kadena US Air Force Base, now faces a long prison term.
It is significant that Okinawan people already think he's guilty. The reason is that he worked with the US Marines, and everyone here thinks US Marines are evil.
In fact, crimes committed by US military personnel account for just 1.3% of all recorded crimes on Okinawa, leading some to say it's unfair to demonize American troops.
You can't judge the entire Marine Corps community on the actions of one bad individual. But by and large, I think Americans, they get along with the local populace. But the local media is not going to report on that.
2 weeks after Shimabukuro's body was found, tensions on the island rose again after a female US sailor collided with two cars after crossing into the wrong lane. 2 people were injured. The sailor was found to have been drinking, leading US naval authorities to impose a temporary alcohol ban. The crimes come as Tokyo and Washington are trying to win support among Okinawans for the controversial relocation of a US Marine Air Base from an overcrowded city to an offshore location in Henoko, a village on the island's north coast.
No base! No base! No base!
Plans for the new base have angered local people, who say it will increase the risk of accidents and destroy the local marine environment.
Since construction work began, the dugongs have stopped coming here to feed. The base will have a really negative impact on the environment.
Many Okinawans disagree with the claim that the presence of US troops is good for Okinawa's economy. This shopping mall, for example, was built last year on land formerly occupied by a US base and now welcomes 12 million people a year.
At first, the Okinawan economy was weak. US bases helped the economy develop and at one time accounted for half of the island's revenue. But today, they account for just 5%. Okinawa would benefit far more if the US bases were turned over to develop private businesses.
Anti-base demonstrators plan to continue putting pressure on Tokyo and Washington. They'll soon send a statement to Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and President Barack Obama, calling for the Marines to be withdrawn from Okinawa.